Hi people, remember when we talked last time in the video about network components? We also talked about networking devices. Well, in this video we will gonna focus only on network devices and what is their purpose in the network. First of all, we will gonna start with repeaters. They are not present in our picture here, but still we have to talk about them because we have to understand the basic concept of their functionality. These devices, quite a long time ago, they were used to repeat and re-amplify the electrical signal. Let's imagine that you want to connect to a friend to play some video games in the LAN, and the distance between you it's around 200 meters. So here it's your PC and here is your friend PC. Let's give this guy a name like Tim. And of course, to connect the two computers together, we have to draw a cable between them. Now, the problem is that the distance, as we said, it's 200 meters. The problem with longer UTP cables, Cat5, longer than 100 meters, is the fact that they will gonna lose the signal. So that means your electrical signal will come from your PC like this. It will pass and pass, and over here it will get lost somewhere. So to fix this issue, you will have to buy a repeater. After you bought the repeater, of course, you will have to cut the cable here and unite those two cables with a repeater. Now, when the signal will come from your computer, like this, and it will reach the repeater, it will re-amplify and enhance the signal. So that means your signal won't get lost. The problem with the repeaters is the fact that they have only two ports. So now if you have more than one friend to join a video game or a LAN party, you will have no additional ports on the repeater to connect him. And in this case, you will have to buy a hub. A hub will do the same thing as a repeater, but it will provide more ports, and of course you can add more people to your LAN environment. So this is your new hub. We have like 4 ports, and right now you can connect to one port. Paul will be able to connect to another one, the same as Tim. The problem with hubs, it will gonna be when you will have collisions. What a collision means in real life is the fact that, let's say you're playing a shooter game like Counter-Strike, and Paul at some point he loses control over his character. His character is freezed, he cannot move, then he gets shot by Tim's character, and naturally it's game over for Paul. The problem with the bridges, it was the fact that they had usually like 4 ports, maximum 8, and you couldn't connect too many computers to the same bridge. And in that case, you know, the industry evolved and switches appeared, which had the same intelligence as bridges and the same amount of ports like hubs. So right now, if you're going to combine a bridge and a hub, you're going to get a switch. And the cool part of it was the fact that you could add like extra ports. let's say that another 2 people will want to join your small network. Let's say that Jane over here, she also wants to connect. And you have another guy here, George. That he can also connect to the new switch. Running cables everywhere in your neighborhood might represent a problem. Why? Because you have people going by, you have cars, you have old people, kids, you know, they will ruin your infrastructure. So in this case, a more elegant solution would be for you to buy an access point. Why is that? Well, very simple. Just to get rid of all these wires that you can see here. Get rid of the switch as well and replace it with some access point. However, even if you have an access point, eventually you will still have to connect it to a router or a switch. It depends on the case. Having your LAN environment, your small LAN environment, and being able to connect to an access point, to a switch, to a hub, to play some video games with your friends, family, share files, and so on. It's pretty cool. But what you're gonna do when, for example, Paul wants to connect to the internet? In this case, of course, you're gonna buy a router. You might ask yourself, why should I buy a router when I have a switch or when I have an access point? Well, it's very simple. Switches and access points, they have no idea how to work with IP packets. If you're gonna go to command prompt or to your Windows PowerShell and type this command, ipconfig/all, you're gonna get this physical address. This physical address, it's the MAC address with which the switches know how to work with it. But the switches, they cannot work with IP packets or with IP addresses, which is this one in yellow. And this is where you need a router, because when you will want to go to google.com, the router can help you get the information from your PC to the Google web server and give you the web page. So right now that you are connected to the internet, you can talk to people, some people can talk to you, and Tim, being a skillful hacker, he might try to see what's on your network. So Tim, having the same things as you, a router connected, of course, to the internet. He might try to scan your network, see what kind of ports you have opened on your router, or to do some more dirty things. In that case, you will want to buy a firewall. Usually you are putting the firewall after your router, like this. And having a firewall, you can use it for packet filtering. You can permit only some IP addresses or only some specific ports to be reachable out from the internet to your PC over here, or to Paul's PC in this case. A firewall usually filters the traffic, but other than this, it has many other functionalities, like it can do networking address translation. That means that your private network over here will have its own IP that people from outside the internet cannot see it. Or you can configure the firewall to act as a VPN server or act as a proxy for your home network and your home users. In the next video, we were going to talk more about networking technologies, collapsed core, and 3-tier architectures. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one.